Shalom, shalom, YASHARAHLA. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, honor to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach well, rule well, being great examples to his younger brothers. Peace, blessing, love, health, and wellness to the hopeful elect and the one-third true believers of YAHAWASHI. Yahweh being who the word ignorantly calls God, which means he exists. YAHAWASHI being who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which means he delivers. Alright. It's the brother Kasai Gadal out of the province of Babylon camp, down here in Tampa, Florida, coming at you with a quick hit through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. Right now it's 6:55 in the morning. Alright. And I couldn't sleep after that storm last night that came about. And my tooth was kind of hurting at the same time, but I'm up now through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. The water to YAHAWASHI for waking me up to be able to do this lesson. All right, and the title of this lesson is going to be called Be Humble, Be Cheerful. All right, be humble and be cheerful. And the first precept that I have that I'm going to bring out, right, hopefully this video will be edifying to you and to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Straight to the point. All right. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, and verse 6. And it reads, Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahawah, that he may exalt you in due time. Right, man. And when you go into that word humble, it goes into humility. Because as we all know, before honor comes humility. So you have to lower yourself and bring yourself to a lower state and be humble, man. All right. No matter what you're going through, no matter how prideful you get, all right, you have to stay in that humble state of mindset, man. All right. Matter of fact, we're going to bring out the definition of the word humble. And the definition, the Google definition of the word humble says, having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance, of low social, administrative, or political rank. All right. So it means to be lower. It means to be brought to a low estate. All right. And as long as you humble yourself in the sight of YAHAWASHI, you'll be exalted in due time. So right now, being over here in Babylon the Great, all right, a.k.a. America KKK, we have to be humble, man. We have to be humble to eventually be exalted in due time, all right? YASHARAHLA, Prince of Power, all right? All of the brothers out here that's pushing his word with truth and sincerity, RAWCHAA, YAHAWASHI, that we be a part of that elect, that we be those men to be exalted in due time, to be kings, to be rulers, all right? But as of now, we have to stay in that humble estate, man, all right? This is going to be the next precept that I'm going to bring out, and it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 19, and it reads, better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Right, man. Matter of fact, let's go up to verse 18. But the point is in 19. So this is Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better is it to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Right, man, because when you start getting prideful, man, that destruction is coming about, all right? It's going to destroy you because YAHAWASHI expects us to be humble. We have to stay at that lower state. Now, you can't be walking around just because you have the truth and other brothers don't, that you're going to be, all powerful and boasting of the law, and that's not the way to be, man. All right. That's not the way to be. It says, in a haughty spirit before a fall. Better is it to be of an humble spirit with lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud, man. Right, man. So it's best to be at a humble state. And that's why I named the title of this lesson, Be Humble, Be Cheerful. Because whatever comes about you, man, you have to stay in that humble estate. All right? You have to stay in that humble estate because it's nothing like being prideful. All right? It's nothing like being prideful. My mom used to always tell me, you got to get rid of that pride, son. You have to get rid of that pride or it's going to destroy you. All right? Because when you are very prideful, you tend to feel like you can't ask anybody for anything. You feel like you got it better than anyone else. You feel like, you don't need YAHAWASHI when you're prideful. You feel like you could do it on your own. And being here in captivity, being here in Babylon, we need YAHAWASHI. We need to be saved. We need to get the hell up out of here, man. This place is only getting worse and worse and wicked as the days go on, man. All right? As the shit go on. Today is the Passover. All right? And it ain't nothing like going into the Passover. Let me rephrase that. You don't want to go into the Passover with a wicked ass prideful spirit, man. All right? You don't want to go into the Passover with a wicked ass prideful spirit, because the Lord gonna humble your ass very damn soon with that prideful ass spirit. And that's and on top of that, even including the few sisters out there listening in, man. You have to be at a humble estate, man, because if you want to be found worthy in the eyes of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, you have an order you have to be in. All right? You have an order that you have to be in. Just like men of the Lord, we have an order we have to be in. So do you women. And the nigga woman love to be prideful, man. All right? She has that whole independent, I don't need a man, I could do everything I want, feminist attitude. But guess what? The Lord gonna humble your ass real soon, sister. All right? The Lord gonna humble your ass real damn soon. And she gonna be wondering why she's got brought lower than where she's already was, man. Because it's gonna come a time where you women out here, all right, y'all gonna be cleaving unto the man of the Lord. And men of the Lord gonna be stiff arming y'all ass, man. They gonna be shaking y'all ass like Devin Hester when he ran that when he ran that 101 damn return back in college when he played for Miami, man. All right. He gonna be bobbing and weaving you women, man. And it's gonna be a time, when the kings are brought back, when the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are back on top ruling. All right, you women gonna be brought back to that lower state. So I advise you to get your spirit in a humble spirit now, or you gonna end up getting it. Or what's gonna happen is you gonna have to die over here and then be brought back in that humble ass spirit. All right, in that lower state of a spirit. And the same thing for us men. All right, the same for us men of the Lord. You have to be in a humble spirit, man. You have to have a humble spirit. All right. It's the next precept. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 23. A man's pride shall bring him low. A man's pride shall bring him low. Why? Because the Lord is going to, we just read it in the book of Proverbs, the 16th chapter, that pride goeth before destruction. So when you all prideful, you're going to end up being destroyed, man. Because what's going to happen is now an angel is not going to be encompassed you. All right. The angels only encompass the righteous men. All right. Loosely paraphrasing. What's going to happen is you're going to start getting a lot of death angels sitting upon you, man. And it's going to bring you lower. All right. But it says, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Right. So if you humble in the spirit, you're going to be honored, man. But before honor must come what? Humility. All right. Before honor must come humility. So it's always best to have a humble spirit, man. All right. Jumping over to the next precept. Salakia. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 4. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Let's read that from the top. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 4, and it says, Salakia. Let's start at verse 3. No, let's start at verse 2, but the point is in verse 4. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 2. And YAHAWASHI called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted meaning what? Come back to the truth, man. Come back to the willful obedience of the Bible, this gospel, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Because when you think about it, a child has a very, very humble spirit. Why? Because most children don't know anything. Okay? Most children don't know nothing. They just sit back, they listen, and they observe. Now, some children, depending on how the parents raised them growing up, they tend to have a prideful spirit as well. All right? But at the end of the day, that's all in the spirit and the power of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, man. All right? But a child has a very humbling spirit. And unless you can have the same spirit as a child, man, and be brought as low as a child, you will not be the greatest in the kingdom. All right? You will not be as the greatest in the kingdom. And that's what we are hoping to be. We are hoping to be kings. We are hoping to be rulers. That's what our name goes into. That's what YASHARAHLA goes into. Prince of the power. All right? Princes of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, man. Soon to be kings. But in order to be a king, you have to be humble. Because think about this. How can you rule over a nation of people, have multiple wives, inherit earths, universes, all right? Being able to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, which we will be able to do because it will be in our inward parts. But you have to be able to rule over a nation of people. And how are you going to be able to do so if you're not in that humbling spirit? All right, now, yes, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI will end up when we are transformed, when we are beamed up into the chambers, which are the chariots, all right? Set forth judgment, all right? Then change into the new bodies. The inward part, the law, statutes, and commandments are put into our inward parts. And then if we are found a part of that elect, sent back down, okay? But as of now, how can you be able to rule over your house if you're not in that humble spirit? Because scriptures say in the book of, Timothy, the 3rd chapter, starting at the 5th verse, for a man not know how to rule over his house, how shall he rule over the church of YAHAWAH? BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, man. You can't, because if you're not humbled, you're not going to be able to do so, because you got to be able to take your time with certain things, take your time with certain brothers. All right, you got to be in that humble spirit. All right. Going over to the next precept. This is the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 11. For whosoever exalted himself shall be abased, shall be low, man. Shall be low. You can't exalt yourself. All right. You can't exalt yourself. The only person that's going to exalt you is who? YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. So you can't be trying to put yourself over the elders. You can't be trying to put yourself over just because you may have came in the truth before another brother. You can't put yourself over that brother. You got to exalt that brother just as if he's going to exalt you. All right. Because at the end of the day, you don't know who you're speaking to. Just like the elders and apostles say, you don't know who you're speaking to in the spirit. All right. You could be talking to a brother that just came in as a part of the elect, but you don't know who he is through the spirit, man. You don't know who he was in his past life. All right. Could be Paul. All right. It could be Moses. It could be either one of our forefathers, because we are our forefathers coming back, but you don't know who it is through the spirit. So you got to exalt every brother, man. But that's all a part of also being humble, man. All right. And it says, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. He that humble himself shall be exalted. All right. You can't put it, Salakia. The head of our camp can't push that enough, man. All right. Bring yourself down. All right. Because the brother that's next to you may have been laboring longer than you. All right. Or may have came in the truth a little, earlier than you. So the ones that have rule over you, put yourself at a humble estate. Be brought low. Be a sponge, man. And then for you women, all right, that man that you are dealing with is over you. Don't think that just because you have this whole feminist movement and you feel like the man's supposed to cleave unto you. Nah, shawty, you got that shit wrong, man. All right? You got it wrong. And you dead ass wrong. Humble yourself for the Lord gonna humble you. And if you don't want the Lord to humble you, because what's going to happen is that pride that you have, it's going to go with before destruction, man. And your ass going to be destroyed. Whether it's through thermonuclear missiles or whether it's that man, you're going to be set up to be left out here on your own. That man is going to leave. All right. And what's going to happen is the spirit can get put on you to go out here and want to jump to another rod. And then now you will be considered or adulteress, a married woman that sleeps with a man. And then you're definitely going to be destroyed. All right. So women, humble yourself, especially in the sight of Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi. We're going to grab that, man. The book of James. This is the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 10. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi, and he shall lift you up. Because why? The Lord's eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. So if the Lord's eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun, he sees everything. There's nothing that you can do, even if you're not around your man, even if you're not around your woman, even if you're let me take that back. Even if for your women, if you're not around your man, the Lord sees everything that you're doing. For us men, even if we're not around the brothers, the Lord still sees what we are doing. So you can't act like a 2/3 throughout the week and then get to camp and now you want to be humble. Nah, man, it don't work like that. It does not work like that. You humble yourself every day. Examine yourself every day. Because when you are humble, you are taking things cheerfully, man. All right. Whatsoever get brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Matter of fact, we're going to grab that in the book of Sirach. We're going to grab that, man. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 4. Matter of fact, let's start at the first verse. We're going to go down to verse 4. Verse 4 is the point that I'm trying to get in. But we're going to start at verse 1. This is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart, all right. That heart goes into what? Your la'ab, your mind. Set your mind right, all right. And constantly endure. Make not haste in the time of trouble. And that word haste goes into what? Make not Salakia. Let's grab it real quick. Let's grab it real quick so we can understand what the word haste means. Excessive speed or urgency of movement or action. So it says, make not haste in the time of trouble. So don't be so quick to jump. Don't be so quick to jump to the action, because for every action, there's a different reaction. And whatever that reaction is calls for a different action. All right. So don't make, it says, and make not haste in the time of trouble. So in the time of trouble, don't be so quick to get angry. Don't be so quick to get frustrated. Don't be so quick to boast up in pride, man. All right. Don't be so quick to do so, man. That's why the scripture said above it, my son, when thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, because you're going to be tempted. And that's why it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. You got to endure these temptations, man, with a humbling spirit. All right. That's why, some elders will speak when they speak, when they're doing their lessons. Some elders will say, The water to YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI for this truth, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, humbly speaking. Because they are humble. They're glad that they got it, but they could just the quicker the same way they got it, Salakia, the same way they got it, the same way it could be taken away, man. All right, the same way that QADASH was given unto you, the same way that QADASH could be taken away from you, man. And that's why you have to be humble, man. All right, especially in the sight of the Lord. Then it says, cleave unto him, unto who? Unto YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, and depart not away. Don't leave the truth, man. Once it's Salakia, once you've gained this truth, you got to ride it out, man. You got to finish what you start, and you have to dirt all the way into the end, no matter what's getting brought upon thee. And that's what we're going to get into in the 4th verse. And it says that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. At thy last end. So in the end, you're going to be increased. And how you going to be increased? YAHAWASHI, humbly speaking, YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, that we be lifted up, that we be a part of that elect. And that's going to be increased in the last end, to be lifted up out of here, man. To be saved, to be joint heirs with YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI, man. To be found worthy in the eyes of YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI. All right. To be a king, to be a ruler over all nations. All right. To inherit the earth. The meek shall inherit the earth. The meek, the humble. All right. The humble in spirit. Then it says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state, man. Even when you are changed to a lower state. Now, you could have went from having a job, making this much amount of money, all right, to falling, to not having a job, but you're still enduring. You're still enduring. All right. We went from being kings and rulers in our past life, all right, to falling down to this point, man, to being in captivity. All right. At one point in time, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians ruled the earth. And that was in the dark ages. We got brought to a lower state. All right. We went off. We went off as our forefathers. So well, guess what? We had to be brought down to our lower state. And even in this life, in this captivity, all right, you could be having your boss man all in your ear talking about this, talking about that. All right. Talking to you like you're shit. Your woman talking to you like you ain't shit. Your woman talking to you as if you're not a damn ruler, like you don't rule over her. Whatsoever get brought upon thee, take cheerfully, man. Because it's all, at the end of the day, it's all going to benefit us in the long run, man. Because in that time, you know, Jeremiah 30:7, in that time, all right, you could probably have 3 old families, including your family, running around, you know, trying to be saved. All right. But through the spirit, if you are humble in the spirit, you're going to be able to rule over them. You're going to be able to help them understand. You're going to be able to gain them salvation or push them towards salvation. All right. But it's all about being humble, Salakia, and being cheerful, man. Being cheerful. Going into this Passover, be in a humble state. Get your damn la'ab right, your mind. All right. Get rid of if you know you've been battling some issues, man, leave that shit at the door, man. Leave it at the door. Like the elders in the part, like Elder Apostle Tahar and Elder Apostle Gabar said, man, the Passover is not some damn lamb dinner, man. It's not. All right. It's not some damn lamb dinner, man. We are keeping this in the remembrance of YAHAWASHI, man. At the end of the day, we are keeping the Passover in the remembrance of YAHAWASHI. All right. This is a time. This is a time to be very serious. All right. And in order to be serious, you need to be humbled. You need to be humble. You need to be cheerful. You need to be respectful. You need to be respectful to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, man. All right? So with that, hopefully this video was edifying to you. If it was edifying to you, then it be edifying unto the elect. I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor, which you definitely do, unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach well, rule well, being great examples to his younger brothers. Peace, love, health, and wellness, and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David, the 1/3 true believers of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. All right. With that, I'm going to say Shalom, Shalom, Kwang Yasharahla, peace, Israel.